So I really didn't have a video planned for this week because I was busy cleaning up and preparing for something rather special. Some of you already know what that is, and for those who don't, let's wait and see. But since I didn't really have anything planned, I figured I'd just go over the bare minimum of what I do for maintaining my garden. And that starts with coffee. Why does it start with coffee? Because yesterday's grounds get put in a container and dumped into the compost when that thing's full, which it's almost full as it is. This is basically what I do when I'm not planting up seedlings, potting up stuff, transplanting, building beds, whatnot. This is just the everyday, mundane thing I do. And since I have some seedlings here, I like to give them a little bit of water, just kind of keep the damp. These right here are the Violet Jasper tomatoes, and quite surprisingly, how they turned out. Not really what this video is about. These are struggling, but try and keep some water on these guys too. And my single seed challenge, and of course it's gotta be noisy with the sirens. So might as well do a little update on this guy. Unfortunately, he looks like he's dying. You can see the tip there is starting to brown up. I don't think he's gonna make it. If you want to make any suggestions as to what I should replace him with, let me know. The next part of my gardening is watering. And I'll just actually show you how long it takes to fill this thing up. And more loud vehicles today. I don't even know who that was. I don't know if you heard it or not, since I'm using the lapel mic. Now, sometimes I will fill this thing up with rainwater or pond water, but this is just kind of the cheap and dirty way of doing things, using the hose. Now, lately I haven't really been watering everything at once. I just water a few things. It's the tomatoes here. Boy, it's a noisy day today. And I water my lettuce, which is on the way out. You can see it's already starting to go to seed, but this keeps it from wilting later in the afternoon. I kind of missed out on watering it yesterday. I thought that the rain thing took care of it, and it didn't. That's the reason why they look a little ragged right now. I usually water my mint here. And the rest I just kind of leave alone usually. Next thing I usually water are my carrots that are struggling. I think it's just too hot here for them to really do well on this particular spot. Next time I'll put them close to the house. They seem to do well there. That's usually the end of what I have in this watering can and for that run. So now I just refill it. Okay, with our second can. I give the sweet potatoes a little bit of water sometimes. They look like they need it. A little water in here. Come over here to my watermelons, give them some water. I need to actually pull this thing up and weed it, but again, this is just a bare minimum of what I do today. Say hi to the chickens. And I'll put some water down in here. This is just some excess stuff I did. I don't really expect it to do anything, but I figured might as well prep this area. You can see the difference between where I've watered and where I haven't, and how hydrophobic the soil can be. And that's the end of that. Everything else will get watered in the afternoon. This is the afternoon part of what I do for my garden. And for my afternoon gardening, I usually let the chickens out to have a run around. I won't bother filming everything I do with taking care of the chickens, since I already did that in a garden tour once, but that is a routine I do. And I'm having trouble getting these things out this time. Now you can see the dirt in there. I'll just dump that into my beds, and I'll help fill it up, or whatever. The water I usually use for giving the chickens, I'll also pour into these pots a little bit. It's kind of filter out anything that might be nasty in the thing. That's how I water these plants here. Now that the chickens have their food and water, I go off and take care of the rest of my garden. And I start with more watering. So we'll fill this up. This is the way. And I'll water my raised beds. Well, most of the stuff is pretty much on its way out, so I'll be putting new stuff in here pretty soon. Just make sure it gets a good amount of water. Oh, and a little side note, you can see how the Ethiopian kales bounced back from that aphid attack. That one looks like it needs some water. Okay, looks decent. Put the rest of this in this other bed with the radishes. I'm just waiting for these radishes to finish going to seed, and then I'll be replacing them with peanuts. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself with what this video is about. Refill the watering can and do some more watering. I don't feel like I quite got this bed good enough. Water over here. Now, I like to weed either while I'm watering or afterwards. It kind of kills two birds with one stone this way. And I don't have to get all the weeds, just kind of go through and grab a few. So each day I just go and do that. Particularly important to water the stuff that doesn't get rained on. Well, it hasn't really rained all that much recently anyway. Don't really have anything in that bag right now, but I could put something in there pretty soon, so I want to keep it damp. Oh, I gotta harvest some stuff up on this guy. Unfortunately, the squirrels have figured out that my Everglade tomatoes taste good. Since I didn't give you any water there. There. Everything's watered. Let's see what we got here. Yep. There's definitely a squirrel got to that one. That one looks perfect. Pick you. That one looks good. That one looks good. Now I got myself some tomatoes. Now I'll probably use these for seeds instead of eating them. That's one problem with growing in such small tomatoes, is you can't really get the seeds out of them and eat the rest. I like to do one last thing that's however small, and I think I'll plant up this Black Beauty tomato. It's not doing so well, but it's probably not going to survive. Might as well plant it up anyway. Right there. Move these dead. Hopefully they'll bounce back. If not, it's okay. These Black Beauties are really more for winter crop up around here anyway. And of course, I always finish with checking for eggs. And I got one. Hey, egg. Well, aside from the chickens, I hope this gave you an idea of what sort of thing you can expect for your daily grind and if you start a garden. Eggs.